So previously we talked about how using the Power Apps could democratize app making. Today we want to take it one step further and introduce the AI Builder. This is something you can use with both your Power Apps and your Power Automate, and that's going to bring AI into your app and workflow without you having to care about how it's made. So there's 4 types of model that come with AI Builder. There's the form processing, the object detection, the prediction, and also the text classification. So we'll walk through those and talk about what scenario you might want to consider those in. So the first one is not one of the 4, but this is something that's out of the box that you can use immediately already. So if you are a marketing person and you have a campaign that you would get a lot of business cards out of, you can make an app that's let you scan and parse information out of the business card and maybe even take down their marketing preference, so you can then send them targeted information. The first proper model from the AI Builder is the form processing. So this is something you can train with 5 forms. So for instance, you have a constant occurrence of people sending you invoices. So you can give this model 5 examples of your invoice, and then it will learn to parse information out of your invoice. So that way, if you have a vendor that's sending you a lot of information, you can then trigger a different approval process based on the amount of the invoice.
You can train a form processing model with a minimum of 5 form samples. Upload them to the model, and the model will highlight the fields for you to keep or disregard. Note that the model is compatible with Latin alphabets only, and the file should be within 50 pages. One way of invoking the model is to pair its pass JSON response with a condition switching within Power Automate, and then invoke different workflows based on the values.
The second model is the object detection. So this you can train with 15 images of each tag. So that means if you are in an inventory situation and you want an app for your frontline users to be able to keep track of the items that they're encountering on site, that you can make an app that lets them snap a picture and that would already be recorded. So we have a demo of something that you can consider in a frontline safety perspective. So a lot of times we have safety instructions and usage instructions of tools that we don't really remember all the time, and frankly we don't need to. So we can make an app that lets the person snap a photo and be able to get the safety readings and also the instructions associated with those.
To train an object detection model, it is recommended to have at least 50 images per item. With more sample, the model improves. It is recommended to use diverse images with different angles, lighting, and background. Please maintain a balanced ratio of training images between the tags. Upload your image to the Object Detector AI Builder model and manually draw rectangles around the tagged items. To invoke this model, you can include the Object Detector block in your Canvas app. Implement filter functions to link the different visual items and data source on your screen.
So the third model of the AI Builder is the prediction. So this would require a bit more data to train, at least 1,000 records. So you can think of some scenario like shopper intention gauging. You have data of how long a shopper is spending in your store, what they end up buying if they end up buying anything at all, and also what type of things they're buying. From this, you can train a model of how likely they are to buy again. You can think of this might be an app that's in your store, or maybe this is an online shopping scenario and you can have the data flow through the Power Automate, so you can have different deals and different special offers for those people.
To train a binary classification model, load your training data into a common data service entity. You will need at least 50 records to train, but the ideal size would be over 1,000. After the entity is created, start creating your AI Builder model of type predict, and specify the entity and your target field. Then select which fields you want to be included in your model and hit train. After a couple minutes, you will have your model. One way of invoking this model would be to create a model-driven app on the same entity and add the prediction label on a custom view.
The fourth model is the text classification. So this is something you can consider if you are someone that would get a lot of user feedback. For example, if you have a hotel and you have a lot of users who stay with you and give you feedback, you want to be able to know how to improve your business based on those. With this model, you would have to tag each of those comments with an area. So for example, sanitary, or maybe food and beverages, or the friendliness of the staff, or even the location itself. After you've trained it with at least 100 entries per tag, you're able to then classify incoming reviews. That way you're able to be more pinpoint when you try to improve your business.
To train a text classification model, you would have to put your training data in a common data service entity. Therefore, we start off with a file of tagged comments. Each tag must have more than 50 text items. We are then going to create an entity and import the file as the data. Note that the text classification model currently supports English, French, German, Dutch, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese. And once we have that entity, we can start creating the AI Builder model under the Model tab. Select the text classification model and then find the appropriate entity to specify the tag and the text portion. Hit train, and in a couple minutes you will have your model.
So that pretty much concludes our video. We talked about the 4 models that come with AI Builder, and that is something you can think of to use in your Power Apps and also in your Power Automate workflows. And if you're interested right now, you can open a trial and try it for yourself and see how AI can add more into your apps and your workflows.